Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Conversations. I'm Caster MJ with Caster's Corner. Along with me I have my two co-hosts, Deadly.
What's up, guys?
And the One-Eyed Crow.
How's it going?
Before we get into the topics for this week, guys, I just want to let everybody know that the podcast is sponsored by Immortal Workshop, who is a Metazoo partner now. He currently has some pre-orders up for Seance, so if you haven't gotten your hands on that, make sure to check out his website. We have an affiliate link down below in the description for his website, and if you're just on his website and want to use code Caster's Corner at checkout, they'll just let them know that you came from us. We're just going to hop into the topics this week, guys. It's officially spooky season now. That makes me very happy. I'm a fan of horror, fan of everything spooky.
Wait, Ian, you're still in space.
Eon.
He's still in space.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing?
I am still. Yeah.
The Seance
I haven't gotten off the ship. Listen, I have a plan to get off the ship. I just haven't executed yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He likes it up there.
And we have no way of helping him, you know? So, but with that being said, guys, we're just going to talk about some stuff that's like happening, kind of in the now. And recently we just had the Trick No Treat. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to be talking about this week is, Trick No Treat dropped this past weekend. I know all three of us got our hands on some. We're excited to get our actual physical hands on them. But we're just going to talk about what the set kind of is and what we might be expecting, and we'll go over some of the cards that they showed us already. First off, Ian, why don't you just explain to us kind of what Trick No Treat is?
Yeah. So the set dropped on October 1st at noon Eastern Time. It is a bag of 20 promos. Each promo pack will have one card. And it comes with a mask that we can use, assuming an adult mask, to give out Halloween candy, and an associated promo. So the associated promo we've seen so far is the activated Indrid mask, and there's cards that reference other cards called activated, whatever mask. So it seems like the promos themselves to go with the masks are activated cards, and then the cards within the set are separate.
Yeah. Now, this is not the first Halloween set that Metazoo has done, correct? Deadly, you yourself, I believe...
Oh, no, I was just talking about it.
Yeah, I believe you have more experience with the Halloween stuff in the past than I do. What is your experience with the past sets of Metazoo and Halloween and things like that?
So from the cards that I've seen, to be honest, I kind of entered into Metazoo, I think, after those had been released. I think we all did. We were all getting like the Valentines, I think, around the time that I entered. Maybe I was there a little bit before that. But with that being said, I did acquire some, and I did get my hands on some of the promo packs, because those single promo packs, all of them across the board, are one of my favorite kind of distribution of Metazoo cards. And those cards specifically are, all of them across the board are pretty much all specific to the month of October. So almost all the cards, most of the beasties you have to play in the month of October. And then there are like Chaos Crunch, Piazza, Peach Rings. There's more.
Those are the second edition ones, right?
Yeah.
They came out last year.
First
edition, 2021.
So I couldn't differentiate
I don't know the difference
off the top of my head.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah.
They're kind of like a lump sum total because of me coming in after. It didn't happen in like kind of like a, hey, here's the first edition 2020. Oh, here's the second edition 2020, and then so on.
I even remember Deadly and I went to Orlando Collecticon, and when we were there, we're obviously shopping all the booths and everything like that. We were kind of, this is when we were now obsessed with Metazoo, of course, you know what I mean? But we were still like, we didn't know everything that we know today. We saw the Wendigo from the past Halloween set, and we were both like, what the heck is this card? We were like, this is the coolest artwork we've seen ever for Wendigo. We need to, and we bought it, and like we each got a copy of it. And then we were like, oh wait, we can only use this in the month of October. Like this is you know, it was like a little weird for us.
I hadn't actually seen that card until you showed me that yesterday.
Really?
So
yeah, it was my first time actually seeing that card.
So
it's pretty cool one, yeah.
It's funny that those cards, when I got the card, I looked at it, I was like, gosh darn it. I can't use this card except for in the month of October. And it is, let's see, March. Or it's just whatever, December. And I'm like, well, this isn't going to be a card I'm ever going to get to use. But now it's now it's October, and I'm just like, now all I want to do is like build around it. I want to use it. And that is, I think, a very cool kind of added feature to those cards that get you excited to play when that month happens. I mean, think about December. So there's a handful of cards for December.
Yeah,
we're a week into October right now. Have you played it yet?
No, I just pulled it out of the. I just pulled it out yesterday and showed you. I was like, look what I have.
So one thing you did mention though, Deadly, that I just want to circle back to is you mentioned one of the cards from the 2021 set that was Chaos Crystal Crunch.
Sure.
So that is one of the cards for Trick No Treat that was teased to be one of the second edition Halloween cards from 2021. So based off of what's on the Metazoo Marketplace's website, when they were like, releasing the product, they had a few pictures up and everything like that. That was one of the pictures that they had up on the website. And, it's the nice reprint. You can see on the bottom in the left-hand corner, like I'll have the pictures up on the screen again and everything like that. It has the 2021 Halloween logo in the bottom corner and the second edition. And on the right-hand corner on the bottom, it says it's the 5th out of 5. So I'm assuming that there's only going to be 5 from 2021. And I think that they announced that there's going to be none from the 2020 Halloween set.
That's correct, yeah.
But I think that's kind of cool for somebody like, all three of us who were not in on the actual Halloween drop last year. We kind of get now to rip that stuff open and still kind of get that feel for it, which is kind of cool. We get to like go back in the past almost in a way and relive that.
It confused me when I saw that because it came up and I looked and I was like, wait, this is from last set? I was like, wait, are they just reprinting these and throwing new stamp?
Second edition.
Okay.
But let's talk about some of the cards that we have seen from this set, and let's start with the Lechuza costume and mask that was leaked. I'm just going to go ahead and read it real quick. It's a artifact costume, Lechuza costume and mask. It's a 1-drop spirit with 10 LP, and you're allowed 3 in the spellbook, and it has the equipment. And it has the 4th wall effect that says you must be wearing a mask to contract this page. Makes sense. It's coming with a mask. And it says equip this artifact to target beastie and choose a status effect on the beastie's attack in the arena. Attacks of the equipped beastie also inflict the chosen status effect as long as this artifact is equipped. You may send this artifact into the cemetery when an opposing caster controls a beastie with 2 or more different status effect indicators to contract an artifact named Activated Lechuza Mask from any place with an aura cost of 0. So before we started recording, we were kind of talking about this a little bit. Ian had some plans with this card already. It was kind of my first time reading it, actually, honestly. So I'm going to let Ian actually take the lead on this one. So Ian, what do you feel about this card right here?
Yeah. So we've seen 2 custom and masks so far, and we'll get to the other one a little later in the show here. Mm-hmm. But this one I feel like is less useful than the other one, but still useful. And being a 1-cost spirit, it's something that you can easily just throw into any deck. If you're playing Prism Aura or maybe even Possessed Aura with Seance, you might have the ability to have that Spirit Aura or something that can contract it. So my plan with this is actually likely to side deck it even, and then figure out what I'm playing against. It will be useful against certain spell books. The one that comes to mind for me is Ket's. So you have something, a spell book that you're playing against that has a lot of paralysis or attack effects, and you just want to, okay, cool, I can bring in this Lechusa Costume and Mask. I can put it on, any of my beasties. Say if you're playing Cosmic, you can put it on your Greys, and you can start, hitting things with your Greys to then start paralyzing or burning or whatever the effect is that your opponent's using against you. You can start using against them. Many of these, or the two that we've seen so far for Costume and Masks, I should say, I do plan to at least side deck one or two of them to see what versatility there is. And when we get to the Frogman, I think that one's going to be a bit more useful, and we're going to see that one used more.
Yeah. Deadly, do you have any thoughts on this card?
So I'm looking at it, and the thing that raises a question to me is, and maybe you guys know this, I clearly don't. What's the activated Lechusa Mask?
So that is going to be another card in the set.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like they showed the activated Injured Cold Mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to. We don't know what the card does itself, but it's going to work with that card.
So if I don't know what that card is, I don't know how useful this thing is. Because I can literally do. I can bring this out. I can bring this out, and I can fatigue it, and then what? I can send this artifact to the cemetery, and literally, if you have a BC with 2 or more status effects on them, or I guess in their attack.
So it's a secondary effect. So your main first effect is steal an attack effect and put it onto.
That one doesn't excite me. That one doesn't.
It does excite me,
no.
honestly.
No, it's not nearly as good as the one that we're going to talk about after.
MJ, tell me what is a circumstance that makes you excited about that?
So again, to me, that makes it so you want to spend $300 on a Loveland Frogman. Cool, let me fucking copy that thing. like cool. You got confusion, I do too. Your Loveland Frogman, your Loveland Mailman thing that you spent I'm sorry, Loveland Mailman. That's what I meant to say. Your Loveland Mailman that you just spent. That you spent all that money on, I could just you only spent that money so you could get confusion in your water deck. You literally only spent that money so you could get confusion in your water deck.
Yes. No,
you could now get confusion in your and now I could copy your confusion. I don't even need that card anymore.
Yeah, but you have to have confusion. You have to have confusion somewhere on the arena to have this come out, right?
Yeah. You spent the money on that card. Yep. I'm copying your confusion now.
I spent $50 on mine.
And this is why you're right. And this is why I'm saying I would side deck it. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be useful against every spell book, but there's gonna be times where after that first game you know what you're playing against.
Yeah.
You say, I do want to steal these effects.
Okay.
And you're right. We don't know what activated Lechusa Mask does, but that is technically secondary to the main card.
And that's what happens with me. And this is why MJ said before is I cut out of a card if it's missing information because I can't go any further with it.
Yep.
But you guys do bring up a good point of what it could counter, what you could side deck it for, and then
Deadly also. He also favors cards that have 2 uses that he can use. So he's like, if I don't see the second use, I don't know.
Right now, all I see is that it copies a status effect, and that is not exciting for me.
And for me, the one that I actually like the most, like I said, is Confusion, and that there's only a few BCs that have that on it. But like,
I agree.
If you have your Spookster out, I'm copying your Confusion. You know what I mean? Like
Confusion is the one that I agree that is a powerful copy because it's guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because you're thinking sleep is inflicted, paralyze is inflicted. Cool, you get to copy it, but you still gotta flip. Like still a 50-50 chance, and you chose to do all
for that. For the Quetz thing, you would still need. If you want to guarantee it, you would still need some like luck potions in there or something along those lines to help you out. But the confusion is just automatic. Even like something like Burn or Frozen, it's gonna happen. It's happening. So any of those are okay choices, but I don't know if it's the best in your deck for something like that personally. But if I see you have that Loveland Mailman, that thing's perfect. I think honestly.
Yeah. And I think activated Lechuza Mask is going to be more powerful than the base effect of this card. Otherwise, what's the point?
I would assume.
Kind of the secondary effect here. And the interesting thing there is you can contract it from any place. So that's Limbo, Cemetery, Afterlife,
Love
Chapter,
it.
or Spellbook.
Yeah,
I love that about spirit cards. Well, we should. I mean, if you guys have
That's not just Spirit. That's how the costume and mask cards work.
Cool. Okay, that's
Frogman has the same
that's
one.
even cooler. But I love that about how Spirit does all that stuff. But this is actually good because we have a question of what would be the activated Lechuza Mask. Don't we actually have the Injured Cold Mask, activated Injured Cold Mask, or is it another what's the other one?
The only activated mask we have, or activated card we have, is Indrid, but the text on it was funky, right? That was the one that was like, if you have dark beasties, give them dark.
It didn't really make sense the way it was written, so we don't know what it does yet.
Because I was just going
I
to
think
reference
there's an assumption. There's an assumption that what was teased is not the end result of the card, or what it was meant to say. So
they're still changing
the end
it.
result that we're going to see is likely going to be different.
Yeah.
It's a big deal to release those that text box, man. Art is cool and it takes time and it's good, but that text box, once it's out there, you now slap that on there.
We're all picking it apart. Yeah.
Just another errata.
But they also released that one, I believe, before the stuff even went to the printers. So who?
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But
okay.
Let's go now into the second one. Deadly, are you on where all the pictures are for?
I'm looking at
the
Flatwoods.
No, the Frogman. We're on the Trick No Treat stuff.
Metazoo Marketplace.
Yeah, on the marketplace there.
It's on the marketplace.
So Ian, then.
Yeah. No.
Which one?
I'm right here. I'm looking
read
at
it.
Chaos Crunch.
somebody, not me. Read it.
You go, which one do you want me to read?
The Frogman.
Frogman. Ooh, it's fuzzy on here. Frogman costume and mask. You got 2 water aura, and it's a 10 LP artifact. Whatever. It's really actually very fuzzy, but fourth wall ability.
Artifact costume.
Fourth wall ability is you must be wearing.
Do you want me to read it? Do
you
want me to read it? I have it up.
Is it super clear?
Yeah.
This thing is super fuzzy for me.
All right, so you must be wearing a mask to contract this page, just like the Lechuza one that we just seen. And it says, equip this artifact to target beastie. Equip beastie gains scared, burn, and poison 2 on its attacks. Mm-hmm. If this equipped beastie uses a power, after resolving that power, you may send this artifact into the afterlife to contract an artifact with the name Activated Frog Mask from any place with an aura cost of 0.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like Ian was saying before, this one just sounds way better to me.
Blows Lechuza out of the water.
It does. It really does. One thing to note, though, is it does cost 1 more aura than the Lechuza one does. You're allowed the same amount in your spell book. But, the thing to note also is that 2 water aura just means you got to splash 2 prism aura into a deck pretty much. It's still pretty much doable for any aura type. I really like this one. It almost makes your attack into like a mini Loveland Frogman, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the aura cost does get easier with a card that we're about to talk about as well, the Masked Merchant. So we'll get to that in a second, how to make that easier.
Yeah. But Deadly, what are your thoughts on this one now?
I like it because it's definitive. It's definitive statuses that's being given to the beastie with this artifact. Like, you're given those 3. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Now I know I have those 3,
great.
and those are solid. You know what I mean? On its attacks. So pairing the fear, or not fear, but the scared, it kind of counteracts like any damage that happens to the beastie, but I get it. Like, more statuses, more possibilities, more flips, whatever. But when you poison it for 2 and it does 20 and 20 and you have 40 damage on it, and now you flip, you try to attack, and it's like, well, back to my hand, play it again. Now there's nothing.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess.
But exactly, it's not the worst thing because it slows you down. It slows you a whole turn down by having to replay.
It's mimicking Loveland Frogman's ability,
Which
is really all.
Which
it
is cool
Yeah.
because now you can throw this. I can
Yeah.
throw this on. You can throw this onto. You got the what's the artifact essence? Earth and water. Split rock or
man.
something rock.
Yeah,
Can't
something
remember.
like that. I don't remember. The one from UFO, though.
Exactly. But this one can literally splash into rock, to Earth and to rock, and you can start throwing some status effects onto your Earth beasties. You
That'd
know?
be kind of
Maybe
cool,
like
actually.
a,
Yeah.
like a little
yeah.
burrowed. What's forget
Sickle
names
Sam.
all night tonight.
A crocodingo.
Crocodingo.
Oh, crocodingo's poisoning and burning people.
Crocodingo.
Scaring.
Yeah.
It's a scary dingo you got there.
So one thing that I like about this too is that the actual Loveland Frogman, for new players get this confused all the time. Loveland Frogman does not have an attack. He's not attacking at all.
Just a power.
So yeah, the cool thing with that though is like if fourth wall is active, Frog could still do its thing or something like that. If it's like no
4th of
attacks,
July.
yeah. That's what. What did I say? What did I say?
I don't
What
know.
did I say? Fourth wall? I don't know. I'm saying all the wrong words this week, man.
It's all
I'm
good.
saying all the
We're
wrong
here to
words.
help each other.
But yeah, 4th of July is what I meant to say. Yeah, where there's like no attacks. But for this one, most of the times I'm attacking with PCs personally, unless like it's like an awesome power like the Loveland Frogman or something like that. But most of the times I'm attacking with BCs and I'm not playing water and I'm not playing with a frog personally. So for me, I would just be able to throw this in one of my decks and have that added to one of my attacks. That's kind of cool for me being like a flame player, just for an example or something like that. I think that's really, really cool because we have not had that with like, I don't even think there's been more than 2 on an attack or something like that with status effects. So this now is like you're adding 3 to 1 attack. That's kind of cool to me, And let's just say your BC already has a status effect on its attack. It's now got 4.
Yeah, it's not. It's not replacing.
And there's no paralyze on that thing. So add that to a Quetz, add that to
Add it to a
Thunderbird,
Quetz,
whatever,
Yep.
Anything's got
Yeah.
paralyze, and you're doing killing it.
And once again, just like the other one, you're able to then contract an activated Frogman mask. And that Frogman mask could be anywhere.
That could be the remainder of the
Anywhere.
status effects.
Maybe it is. Maybe.
Maybe this
Maybe
is
now they're
actually
asleep and-
maybe it's actually Loveland Frogman's actual attack. We'll see what his attack actually is. It's
So-
called Ribbit. Sorry.
So
It's corny.
I do find it interesting. So, right, the ability to get the activated Frogman mask compared to the activated Lechuza mask on the Lechuza card, this one's easier. It's just you attach it to a beastie that has a power. You can do it in the same turn even.
Yeah.
Activate that power, and then you can get your activated Frogman mask out.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I would actually hope that activated Frogman mask is not as powerful as activated Lechuza mask for the extra work that you have to go through and extra planning to get activated Lechuza mask out.
Yeah. I just want to point out too, I was watching one of Turmentic's videos either today or yesterday or something like that. And for the first time ever, it struck with me that the reason that Loveland Frogman's card does not have an attack on it is because he has a spell that enchanted him where he cannot attack other beasties.
Yep.
And that's just in like the lore and the story and everything like that. So I find that really cool that like the cards like are like that much in tune with the story. Like that's pretty dope to me.
I never realized it until I started watching Turmentic. Actually, how like I think I've said this in a video before. I never really read the flavor text before either.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much the lore actually was ingrained into the card game.
Yeah, shout out to Turmentic. Go watch his videos, guys.
Yeah, dude, I watched one the other day, just like this. It's all the theme decks, all the Seance theme decks. He breaks down every single background of each one of those.
I think that's the episode I'm
beasties.
referring to. Even
It's such an informative,
It's a great episode.
and he's telling the story really, really well. Like he's very, very passionate about those stories, so it's awesome.
Let's move on to the next card in this Trick No Treat set. Ian, you want to read us the Mask Merchant?
Of course I do. So this is an artifact humanoid, 3 neutral cost, ADLP, 2 per spellbook, has fleet, so it comes in awakened. It has a power called Care to Trade. You pay 1 neutral aura, and you may search your spellbook for an artifact costume and place it into your chapter. Then the next artifact costume you contract this turn costs 1 less aura to contract. So this is the card that, even though the Loveland Frogman costume and mask costs 2 water aura, you pay a neutral aura, you search your spellbook for it, and then you only have to pay 1 water aura for it. So you can get that for a little bit less, or it makes it more accessible to most spellbooks as long as you're able to search it from your spellbook. And your Lechuza mask at that point could be contracted with any aura.
Yeah, and one thing to note actually is that, and you're the MZO here, Ian, but it says pay 1 neutral aura. You may search your spellbook for an artifact, and it will cost 1 less aura to contract. Now, from other cards in the past, that it would say that to a minimum of 1 or something like that. And if it does not say that, that means it could cost
Minimum 0.
0 to contract. So for if you're paying that 1 neutral, you bring that card out. You don't even have to pay another aura. You're just using that 1 neutral aura to bring out that Lechuza mask. You know, I'm just explaining for anybody who's new in the game, type of thing. But yeah, that's that 1 neutral aura. You're good to go. That's it. So that's amazing to me, honestly. So who knows what these other ones are that we're getting?
If you're putting those, I think it was 3 per spellbook for Lechuza. If you're putting 3 in your spellbook, you get Mass Merchant out on the field early. You're getting all of those out in the field for free, essentially.
Interesting. You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
The Chibi neutral. What's the Chibi? It's not Chibi Playground. What is it? Chibi what? It's Chibi where they all are holding hands or standing in a line, and then you get to go grab a bunch of them. Chibi Parade.
Oh,
That's what reminded me. This is what reminds me of it, because all of them are neutral costs. When you pull them out of your spellbook, you can just play them for neutral. This is very similar. You can play it basically neutral.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's weird? I don't know why I'm connecting those, and I feel like I want to put the mask on some Chibis. Some costumes on the Chibis. Tell me that doesn't sound like a great idea.
It sounds like a great idea.
It's literally the box art.
Metazoo's telling you to do it.
That's kind of like I'm reading the writing on the wall here.
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome. I'm really excited to figure out what these other ones are. Like, who knows if we've seen the most powerful one yet or not? Who knows if we've seen the one that could be thrown into the most decks or not. But this card that we're talking about right now that could make it come out for less, it's going to be beneficial either way. Either way, this card will be beneficial for any of those. So I think that's pretty awesome.
So this would be another one I'd side deck along with the Lechuza costume and masks as I'm trying to play these.
Yeah.
So.
Who's the
Makes sense.
who's the one in the back there? So you got Momo, you got Mothman, you got Frogman, and then who is that?
That's
That's
Lechuza.
Lechuza? The golden face?
That's Lechuza.
I agree with you, Dudley.
I feel like
was thinking
it's like
that myself.
inverted colors, purple eyes, and gold face.
I was like, is that? I thought it was Piazza Bird or something when I first saw them. I don't know, but
it looks like I don't know, it looks like a cross between Sam
now
Sinclair and a jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern bomb.
Now that I know it is, I see it, honestly. Like, I see it in the face and everything. But yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, now that you say it, I'm like, okay, I'll accept it.
So my question though is, who is the caster?
Yep, I was just looking at it, and he's got like the mime, like.
I like it, the half mask and stuff. Yeah, I like it. But all right, let's go to the last one for these Trick No Treats before we move on to the next topic. And it is Halloween, a Suburban Terra that you're allowed 2 per spellbook, and this is a special Terra. I personally absolutely love this artwork on it, so shout out to Poncho on that one. But this special Terra reads, Arena. At the start of each turn, the active caster may contract an artifact costume from their limbo, cemetery, or afterlife. So again, this to me is just awesome. This will again benefit any one of those, costumes, the artifact costumes. So we don't know what they all are. We don't know what they all do, but regardless of that, this could and will help them. Deadly was talking earlier about how he likes that whole spirit, how you can mess with like pulling stuff from, the afterlife and things like that. I think Dark has stuff where you could do that now too.
That's heavy on the cemetery right now.
So this makes it so, like, again, it doesn't matter what aura type you have. If you just got these artifacts in there, you're able to pull them out from the the afterlife or whatever it is. What does it say here? Afterlife, cemetery, or limbo, any of the three.
So those two cards, those last two cards that we did, those are very versatile with those, and we don't even know what those the mass and everything kind of like interact with each other. But those two cards, the Suburban Terra, that allows you to play them from when they go into your afterlife and everything, and then being able to kind of play one for a neutral cost. They're making it very easy to just enter those into spell books, and to really just make them just fluid with everything. So kudos to that.
Yeah, Ian, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I honestly, I can't think of a better costume than Frogman, so that's the one that I keep thinking of, and this just goes perfect with it. So if it gets removed, you just, okay, cool, I'll bring it back. Yeah. The main thing I noticed with this, though, is the art on this, which is awesome, obviously done by Poncho. But I think this actually teases 8 of the 10 masks that we're going to see. Each chibi there, as well as the costume they're wearing. So, we have Loveland Frogman, Mothman, Grim Reaper, Momo, Indrid, Bunnyman, Lechuza, and Bigfoot. That's actually Chibi Bigfoot on the right there. And I think Chibi Bigfoot's wearing a Bunnyman costume. I'm not quite sure.
I would guess. Costume. I would guess the same.
Yeah. So I think that's 8 of the 10 masks, and then 2 of them would be wild cards that we just haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like this artwork. I really do. I'm just drawn into it right now. You see all the little
it's great.
The candy on the street and stuff like that. Yeah. And you see Momo wearing that's that Indrid Cold mask. That's it's real dope to me. But yeah, again, just going back to the playability of this card. What I like about stuff like this is you were allowed 3 per spell book of, let's say, just that Frogman card that we were talking about. This essentially makes it so you could have 9, potentially, because you're allowed 2 of these special Terras. So let's say somebody destroy Terras it, you could just bring out another one if you have both in your spell book. And you could bring back all 3 2 more times, essentially, if you're able to get both of them out. You know what I mean? If it works out perfectly, basically.
No. Technically, if it's out,
you can do it indefinitely.
I was gonna say if it's constantly out there, you can. That's true too. There's no stop.
Yep.
You're turn 2, I can do it again. Turn 3, I can do it again. Let me tell everybody, you can do it for 3 turns. I'm just kidding. You can do it literally crazy for everything.
So yeah, I always like to look at stuff like that because I've said it before. I've played spirit decks and stuff like that. I love spirit decks and stuff. I've had decks where I've made 2 Phantom Joggers into 10 Phantom Joggers before, by just replaying them. So this is that essentially, you know what I mean? And that's awesome to me. I like being able to reuse cards even though they're dead type of thing.
Right.
It basically
the one thing to also consider with this too, depending on how prominent masks and costumes are in the meta going forward, this also works for your opponent though as well. So getting this on the field also gives them the ability to get their costume and masks out of the cemetery, limbo, and afterlife. That's
the downfall about all special Terra. I feel like everybody
I'm
wants
to
to play
grab
over
an
their own
aura.
City. Yeah,
you're allowed to too, I guess.
But honestly, I think that's it for the Trick No Treat. Unless there's anything else either of you guys want to touch on or say before we move on to the next topic.
No, it's a good breakdown. I mean, we got to see those activated masks. Then we'll do more.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm thinking maybe even once we get our hands on some, maybe we'll rip some on a podcast episode here for everybody to see.
Definitely.
I think that might be fun.
As soon as I
yeah, that literally that night. All right, so the next topic we have is it's not a big one. I shouldn't say that. It's not a long topic probably where we will be talking for as long as we
challenge?
just did. Yeah, right. But recently we got released a card for the towers. I should say we got released 3 cards.
Very strange.
That are leaked for the towers. So we're just going to share that with you guys and share our opinions on that. And I am just trying to find it right now. Here it is. Okay. So the one that got leaked to us is a cosmic one. Ian, do you want to share with us what the cosmic one is?
It's 3 cosmic.
3 cosmic ones. You're right.
No reason to split this up. So there's 3 of them. They all actually have the same power, and why there's no reason to split it up.
Yeah.
So they all have a power called Gaze. Search your spellbook for any Terra page and contract it into the arena. Reveal target caster's chapter. The difference between the 3 cards is their LP. They have the same cost to contract, 1 neutral, 2 cosmic. And the 3 arts are Cosmic Tower Building Begins, which has the start of a tower being built for 110 LP. You have Cosmic Tower Building Continues, and this is the Cosmic Tower basically in a half-finished state, 125 LP, and you have the Cosmic Tower Building Complete, and it's at 150 LP. So the LP gradually increases as the tower gets more complete.
Which has no indication as to what that means.
I have a few thoughts on that.
I have no theory on that. I
do. But we are getting into that next. Right now, we are just talking about what we think about this card, or these cards, I should say, because they even have 3 different names technically. So they're three completely different cards with the same exact power. So Deadly though, the actual power on the card. How do you feel about that power?
It's great. I mean. If I'm a UFO deck, it's a super strong artifact that needs to be, that's just sitting there. I don't say it needs to be handled, but most people will want to handle it because every turn I'm just going to be, let me get my aura or my Terra. And if I really wanted to, I could technically, if I already had 1 Terra out, I play that. I have Magic Engineer Oil, bop, bop. I pull 2 out, pass turn. You pass it back, I got UFO, game over, I win. And then technically, so the only reason, this is very strange, the name is different. So that means that you technically can have all 3 of those in your spellbook.
Well, even if just the life points were different, you would still be able to have all 3 of them in your spellbook because it's not the exact same.
As long as there's some no, it's the name, right?
No?
Full on name.
I'm pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure it's name and effect text.
Effects text. That's what I was gonna say because Mothman and Mothman. I mean,
no, it definitely could be. I very well could be wrong.
I could be wrong, but as far as I was aware, it's name and effect text.
So somebody. We need a master metazoologist to let us know in the comments down below.
Matrata.
Where you at?
Help.
But yeah, I think this card, these cards are pretty awesome, and I think if you could get your hands on them, they will help out in a cosmic deck. The power just works. Yeah, the power just works perfectly for cosmic, I feel like. But I'll go into my theory now if you want here, Deadly.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I originally thought maybe the towers were going to be like Pokemon gyms, essentially.
Okay.
And along that, my thought was maybe there will be somebody, just for the sake of argument, maybe a master metazoologist who's a very good game player who we have to beat. The gym leader, like in Pokemon. But now, since that I've seen these cards release, I have a totally different idea. That makes more sense to me with what these cards are. Okay. And to me, it would be more along the lines of like a sanctioned event, a sanctioned tournament, something more along those lines. And the more wins you get, the more you rank up and tier up into the tower. Like, you passed floor 1, you make it to floor 2. You pass floor 2, you make it to floor 3. Like that type of thing. And it's just by a matter of like play network points or something like that, or whatever that system is. And
there could be a bigger one than this. There could be a top tier one in this.
There really could be, but I think the complete tower is the top tier one, honestly. I think I'm looking at it almost as like bronze, silver, gold.
Yeah.
But not only 3 people could get it. It's like anybody who's eligible to reach those ranks is eligible to get these cards.
Makes sense.
That's just my theory since I've seen these cards released. Like I said, originally I thought it was just going to be like a Pokemon gym. But yeah, go ahead, Ian.
It makes sense for what we know about towers already, right? We know that they have 10 towers to do, that they're going to have to get through all of them before Caster's Cup, which means that they're not just things that happen all the time, right? And then there was also mention of having a master caster, an archcaster for the tower, and that that person might get special privileges to automatically be in the top 32 for Caster's Cup.
Yeah,
right. That was mentioned in the interview with Argos.
Yeah.
So it also hints that you're going to have some kind of ranking system, some kind of top tier, top winner of some sort, and that they will have that ranking for a set amount of time, until the next Caster's Cup or the next tower event or whatnot. So, from what we know there and kind of what you're theorizing, which I think makes sense, it could be that towers are basically, we know Metazoo's buying, property for towers.
Yeah.
It could just be really, a tourist kind of thing. You go there, you have special merchandise, you have a Metazoo building that has a special event, once a year, twice a year, once a quarter, whatever.
Yeah.
That you can get these promos.
Yeah.
So I think your theory is actually probably pretty close, if not spot on.
And I think it's something that all of us players are really looking forward to. I know the few people that I talk to that are players are like, when are we going to find out more info on this? Yeah. And I'm in the same boat. So I'm really excited for more news to come out about this towers as time progresses and everything. We were hoping it was going to come out by Salem. It still might come out by Salem. But either way, I'm ready and I'm excited for it. I hope there's one close to me. If not, I'm going to be traveling.
You got to go to the aura type of your favor. MJ.
So here's my
Spirit's going to be all the way in Washington State.
It's going to be in Alaska.
Yeah. So along that lines, it was Turmentic, I think, that told me that what's depicted here is actually Devil's Tower in Wyoming for Cosmic. Which I had assumed Roswell was going to be an area.
I was going to say, this looks like what's that big rock climbing wall in Utah?
Oh, I know. It does look like that to me too. That's what I thought
El Cap.
at first too.
El Capitan. Yeah, that it looks like El Cap, dude. I don't know.
If you Google Devil's Tower, it also kind of looks like that. I would say it looks more like Devil's Tower than El Capitan.
I would have to look at Devil's Tower, but that's what just in my head I see that.
My question now, and again, we don't have the answer, so this is just an open-ended question.
We can pretend we have answers.
Yeah, right. Are all the towers going to be happening at the same time, or am I going to be able to potentially buy 10 plane tickets and get all 10 of these? You know what I mean? Or am I just going to have to go to the one that's closest to me because they're all happening the same day, the same week, or something like that? That's something that I'm very curious about.
I don't think we have written proof of that, but I do believe with how it's been talked about and whatnot, they will not happen at the same time. And it makes sense. I think Mike's going to want to be there. They're going to be big events. I think Andy's going to want to be there.
I think I'm going to want to be there.
Guess, right? I don't know if you can be an archcaster for the fire tower and the light tower at the same time per se. You know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
But maybe you could compete to be the top caster for each tower.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I do believe it has been at least hinted at that they are going to be spaced apart. But you have to consider that Caster's Cup is, theoretically, if it's the same time as last year, it's only like 8 months away, right? So to do 10 towers in that time, they need to be once a month, once every 3 weeks. If you started now,
Yeah.
and there's no hint at when we're even starting these towers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a concern of mine as well. But
Yeah.
but it all has a way of working itself out, and either way, I'm here for the ride, and I'm excited for it. I'm 8 months. That actually got me nervous when he said that. I'm like, fuck, it's only 8 months away.
I think it is 8 months, right? Because Caster's Cup was middle of May, if I recall.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
May.
5 months,
Yeah.
and then we're in October right now.
Jesus, time is flying, man.
It is.
So one thing before we move on to like our last little topics that we're going to do is we just wanted to mention there's not much really to talk about here again, but there was artwork that was released for another tower, and that one was referencing an Earth tower, and the artwork is with Sinkhole Sam, and there's 5 pictures here. And we were talking again before the episode, we were just spitballing what these pictures look like. And if we were going based off of the 3 that we had from the, what are they called? I'm already blanking on it. The Cosmic Tower building pages, it seems like that there would be one of these where it's being constructed, one of these where it's midway through the construction, and there's 3 of these pictured where it's fully constructed. So we don't know which ones they've chosen for the actual artwork of the cards or anything like that, but the artwork itself is cool, and it's
That
just
middle
something that
one, you guys see the one at the top, the middle one? That's when you lose and they kick you out and they say, get out, and they're walking down the street. And that's you looking back.
that's after like
Aww.
like what's that movie, The Hulk, like the credits when like he's walking down the street all sad and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
him like looking back.
His girlfriend pulls up in the
That's
rain.
him looking back. Yep. That's me when I don't win right there.
So there is something interesting here as well, that I guess it's more speculation, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's correct here. We've also we didn't prepare it for this video, but we actually have seen the test artwork for the Forest Tower, which had Bigfoot walking towards the tower in the woods. So we've seen Bigfoot walking towards the tower in the woods. Bigfoot was the Wilderness headliner.
Yeah.
We know Cosmic, the tower headliner, is
Ooh, I see where you're going with
Flightless
this.
Monster. Sinkhole Sam is going to be, in my opinion, the native headliner.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. Yeah, that's I would not have picked up on that unless you've said that. So that is something that's awesome to think about. So
After Seance,
So
after
Walking
Seance
Sam,
releases,
so Walking Sam is the like guy for Seance, right? If I'm not.
yeah. So
potentially
Walking Sam will likely be
so-
the mascot for the tower for Seance.
So y'all heard it here first. We're calling that right now.
The spirit runner.
We're calling it. Walking Sam is going to be on the Spirit Tower card right now.
I honestly think so. I think that they're doing Cryptid Nation Beasties as headliners this round. As we get into Yokai Island, I imagine that's going to change. When that happens.
Yeah.
So if we wait for a Metazoo hour after Seance releases, we can ask Mike his favorite beastie at the time, and my guess is he's going to say he's fond of Sinkhole Sam.
In typical fashion, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, do either one of you have anything else you want to say on the towers while we're on this before we move to the last topic before we close out?
Yeah, there better be one near me.
Yeah.
I think
Everyone feels that way.
I think we're all feeling that. One thing to point with that though is that there is going to be a neutral tower that will be traveling around. So if there is not one that's coming close to you, that if there's not one that's stationed close to you, there might be one that's coming close to you. So that there's still hope.
Yep. That'll be named the Moving Tower.
Yeah,
but
I
you
think that's
better
an
be good
awesome
at
idea.
neutral.
Yeah.
I don't know what these towers have.
Just
Everybody has to play Mike the Headless
get
Chicken.
your headless chicken deck.
Everybody has to play
Can't wait to see those Seance neutral cards coming out.
What?
Right.
I'm blanking on what is the what's the other one that looks like the Ghostbusters? That
The Cryptid Busters.
The Cryptid Busters.
the Cryptid Busters. Yeah, everybody's gotta have Mike the Headless Chicken Cryptid Buster decks. That's all it is.
Throw a Frogman mask on those.
I see some things
good.
forming in the neutral sector. I see some things
There
forming.
will be. There definitely will be. That's why in past episode, that's why I asked you guys if you ever see like an all neutral deck, because I've seen it, but like I don't want to build it yet. You know,
It'll eventually happen. I mean,
I
there'll
agree.
eventually be enough cards that it'll be viable.
I agree. But I'm sorry, Ian. I was kind of like cutting you off. Is there anything else you want to say about the towers before we move on, or did I steal what you were going to say?
I wouldn't say steal. I just wasn't sure if you remembered, and you did. You stole it. I'm mad.
Yep, that happens sometimes. All right, so we'll move on to the next topic, which is, Seance pre-orders started. The time we're recording this, it started today at midnight, 12 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
So I already put my order in at Immortal Workshop. I'm already broke because of
I think I'm
Seance.
2 orders in already now.
Yeah, well, you know what happened. I was like, oh, pre-orders came, and then somebody said, they were like, Ian's gonna buy his pre-orders like at the drop. He thinks that they're gonna sell out. And then I watched your video on CNN and Cryptid Nation.
The one where I said the drop was November 5th.
Maybe
In the beginning of the, I got called out so many times. Actually, MJ, you called me out.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't want to wait till November 5th. I watched it, I'm like, oh man, how did I not catch that?
Yeah, this morning I was like, Ian, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm about to be that guy.
Well, I did one too. No. The when I saw your video and I saw that you said that Immortal only had 40 setups of the big bundle,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm not going to wait the week that I was going to wait and
Yeah.
sit back, because if you wait a week or a couple days, whenever pre-sale ends, but I didn't want to wait, and I ended up getting one, and I'm happy because there's potential that actually, I'm pretty sure Ian said we were talking to Immortal. Looking pretty
He's
good.
doing good right now.
Yeah.
He's doing good right now.
Look,
So you guys probably want to get on there.
Yeah, you might want to get on there
can do
before product is
can-
gone.
Oh yeah.
I can do some Shopify magic right now, but he is down to, well, Shopify's only going to allow me to put 7 in the cart right now, 7 bundles. We're recording this on Wednesday night, so there's going to be a few days. I don't think by the time this video drops that there's going to be any in stock.
Sorry,
to be honest.
guys.
And one thing that made me want to jump in and order my stuff right away too is just the print run. Honestly, just that
That
print
did it
run
too.
in itself,
Yep.
being half. It's very easy to get your hands on some UFO right now. It's very easy to get your hands on some wilderness right now. But would it be as easy if there was half the amount of product released to the public? I personally don't think so, honestly. And that's where we're at with Seance right now. Seance might be fully sold out before it even releases. like there's a potential for that. I don't see it. I don't think so, but it.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, but
They're still
but
handing
to
out.
me-
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, there's still CN1 products out and stuff like that. I get it. But to me, it's just like, it's a big cut. It's a 50% of anything. If you're losing 50% of anything, it's a lot. I'm just imagining getting a divorce, losing 50% of your house, and you wouldn't want that,
That
right?
escalated quickly. Everything okay at home, MJ?
Everything's great at home. But no, you don't want to lose half of anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's half the product not released to public, essentially, or not printed.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think I don't think it's going to be gone before it's released, but I don't think it's going to last as long as, say, UFO or Wilderness is going to. Yeah, simply because of the print run. Nightfall, you can still get Nightfall for around MSRP right now, but Nightfall had some issues too, where distributors held it back and it didn't get kind of released at the right times and whatnot.
That was an issue that I think has been since solved. I think.
Yeah. Right now, the reason we can get it for 140 is because they're actually being put back into the market.
Yeah.
Right? I think I ended up paying over $200 for a Nightfall booster box at one time.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid of missing out.
I think I got one at, my height was like 200, and then I maybe got one at 150 when I got lucky.
I got one at 180, and Deadly was like, get it.
I'd tell you today, I'd be like, yo, dude, pay $180 for that. Do it. But it's listed for $120.
But yeah, I, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe the issue with that actually had to do with like Channel Fireball acting as a distributor. Things like that. So, luckily, we've moved past that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see the same thing with Seance, but we're looking at the same print run.
Yeah.
Even now, a year later, there's enough people to kind of eat up Nightfall, in my opinion.
Yeah.
People still want Nightfall.
I do think.
People still
desire
it.
I still don't have hits from Nightfall. I don't have a full hollow Mothman from Nightfall. I don't even have a reverse hollow Mothman from Nightfall, I don't think, honestly. I have a non-hollow. I've got a bunch of non-hollow ones. Deadly.
Why haven't we talked? I think I have some for you.
Deadly and I ripped a box. It was my last box that I opened of Nightfall, like booster box in Orlando at Collecticon. I bought one. I got like the worst hits ever.
You did not have a good box.
I think the best hits I got was like 2 Dark Watchers or something like that.
Didn't you get like a reverse Grim or something?
Yeah, like that was it. And
which is it's like this tiny little hollow sliver on the card, and you're like, and I can't really see the art anymore because the hollow's reflecting. So now it's just like, what is this?
Yeah, and like out of like the 2 Dark Watchers, which were like the 2 best hits I got, I traded one of them to Speed Lemon actually from, he's one of the competitive players down in Texas and everything, and I traded him, and I got my first Kickstarter card. So it did work out for me, but. Nice. But it was a bunch of BS that I got. So I'm hoping to get my hands on some more Nightfall actually soon if I can and try to rip some open. Not even for like the old scratch thing that they got going on. I just want some more Nightfall, honestly.
It's the least amount of the sets that I have.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
I'm always looking for more like doubles and like looking for cards in that set, being like, where the frick is this? I know I have some. Please, I don't need to open anymore.
Yeah. So the last thing we have, and this goes, with what we were just talking about with Seance pre-orders and stuff, and also our last.
Actually, I still have some comments on that.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Why didn't you ask?
I'm a jerk.
Just along the lines of not expecting it to sell out kind of right away.
Mm-hmm.
I think for people that are still looking to buy now, people that haven't yet, by the time that this episode drops, what you're going to want to look for is a good bundle. I think Immortal honestly had a great bundle for 2 reasons. One, Hero Quest sealed being bundled with it, so that's a huge value right there. Huge. The resale value on those is
$30 or something like that right now. They're going for around that.
Yeah. So he made a great call there. Stocking up and using those for the bundles. Mm-hmm. You have the mat, which honestly, in my opinion, I'm not saying this just because my logo's on it, is probably my favorite mat that I own. I did get one early.
No, it's beautiful.
Privilege. But no, it is my favorite mat. The quality is great there. So if you're looking to buy now, definitely look for bundles, see what's available. If not, I do think you're going to have time to wait until MSRP or rather map drops to 80% of MSRP. So if you're not looking to play these cards right away, if you're not looking to collect the cards right away, I'm impatient. Even if I wasn't playing, I'd
Me too.
be like, I'm paying this now. I just want it. I think you have time to wait and wait for that price drop.
Yeah, and for anybody who is buying product, again, if Immortal Workshop is sold out by the time you go and see this video and you're checking out and trying to buy stuff, I always recommend people to stick with the partners first.
Always.
So I just want to throw that out there. Stick with the partners first. They're doing right by Metazoo. They're usually the ones who are trying to help the community
Guaranteed
grow the most
allocation.
and things like that. Yeah.
Yep.
But besides that, always also support your local game store. So if you have a local shop that is selling Metazoo product, keep that shop, in your town. Essentially, they're not going to be able to keep those doors open if people are not buying product from them. So if you
even if you talk to John, he says the same thing. Go to your LGS first, and if they don't have it, go to Immortal.
Yeah.
So,
kind of. Actually, this what I like to do is I like to buy a bundle because I feel like I get some cool add-ons. good
Get a
deals
good value,
on,
yeah.
on the new product. But once I do the bundle, maybe I'll go for some singles because you can't find an LGS currently right now that's going to sell you singles usually. So you go to, I go to Immortal and he helps us out, being our sponsor. But with that being said, I actually like to, when I'm hunting for cards, and I go to my local LGS who may have more of a aggressive sale price at the right point. 2 weeks in, get 80%. But at that point, now I'm able to buy and look for things that I'm missing, slowly do it. It's local. So I kind of go really exciting in the beginning, grab a bunch, and then slowly complete my my collection and everything like that.
Also, just from my experience too, going to the LGSs and stuff like that, I'm able to meet some cool people where I could trade for cards and stuff like that too. So like, there's just added bonus to having a place to go as well, So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Partners and LGSs first before, going out and searching anything on Google pretty much, So yeah. And the last topic we have before we close out is we're just going to talk about real quick, like what deck, since all three of us are players of the game, what deck we might want to jump into and start out with once Seance releases. So I'm going to start with Deadly. Deadly, when Seance releases, is there anything that you're like hoping to possibly build around or anything you're like really wanting to try out?
So I'm going to comment on that in regards to what I watched prior to doing this.
Okay.
I was filming this. So there was a little bit of the sneak peeks, a little bit of LPA, ripping open packs right before for the Comic-Con. Yeah. I didn't record it. I usually screen record and then I watch all of them later and read all of them so I get like a head start and everything. But I saw some light cards in there. I saw some cool light cards and it kind of got me excited. And funny enough, and this is just kind of me. I like to think I pick up on things when really there's nothing. When he was actually flashing Sam's backpack, somebody said something to him on the side. And he turned and said something, and he was like, "Oh, that." And then he was like, "Oh," and he kind of was like referencing it, being like. And usually when I pick something up, I'm like, "Oh, maybe this card's got more utility than we even know already." So that kind of got me a little excited. So I'm gonna say light, as I usually do.
Yeah, Sam's backpack actually does. Have you seen the card?
Mm-hmm. I've read it. I haven't studied it completely, but there's a lot of cool things on there.
Yeah. One of the things I found interesting about that one is Sam's backpack is one of the LGS promos as well.
Yeah.
Really?
So just different art. But yeah, so you equip that one.
I think it's just an artifact out in the field.
Yeah, it's an artifact on the field, and anything
that's touching it,
anything else that has Sam's in it that's touching it can't be attacked. Yeah. So you start protecting some of your other Sam's artifacts, and there are new Sam's artifacts coming in.
Which is...
like Sam's scarf, I believe, was what we got teased either today or yesterday.
Yeah, we got that
today. Pull out my
scarf.
That was today.
I don't have one down here.
So Ian, what deck are you most excited about trying to build?
Yeah, I don't think this is a surprise from our episode with the spoilers. It's actually going to be Dark Earth. So Black Aggie caught my attention. Yes, she does have protection against dark spells, but you can get around that with Paralyze, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just seems like a powerhouse there. We've also seen the Cement Worm, which blocks your opponent from being able to use their aura.
It's so badass.
And actually, I did misspeak in that last episode where I was saying that you could use your aura at the end of turn, and you actually can't because the priority phase is before the official end of turn phase at the end of turn. So your aura would awaken after your end of turn priority. So you wouldn't be able to use it to contract anything that turn, but you could use it into response to things on your opponent's turn.
Gotcha.
So it actually is a little more powerful than I thought as well there.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then today in LPA's teases for Seance, we got a 1-drop Dark, 1-drop Earth, Rocky Mountain Barking Spider. You can have 8 in the spellbook, comes in, it has fleet, so it comes in Awakened. It can't attack Madgasser of Mattoon because they both essentially fart. And the beastie ignores First Strike and Flying, so it directly ignores Cats for certain things. Yeah, its attack isn't great. It's only attack 10, but it does 2 poison, and if you blow a raspberry and then flip a coin, if it's heads, it ends combat after the attack resolves. So basically, you can get in there if you have a way to do guaranteed heads. You can slap the beastie for poison, end combat before the attack hits back. So I think there's some interesting things that can go there.
Yeah.
If you what was the UFO Terra Lucky View that allows you once per turn to choose the coin flip?
Yeah, you flip the coin.
So if you combine that with Lucky View or something, you have something that can slap, put poison on, guarantee that he doesn't get hit back, and then you move on. So there's some good interactions that I'm seeing with specifically with Earth.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen before. That I'm really excited for. I've never wanted to play Earth before, so that's new for me.
I have fun with Earth.
Specifically Dark Earth.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be dope for you, man. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun once Seance drops that Dark Earth. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Obsidian.
What about you,
Obelisk.
MJ?
So me, it shouldn't come to a surprise for any of you. Really, I want Spirit. So Spirit is my main focus, but because of the Casey Jones leak, I might have to splash Flame in there. I'm just thinking out loud, but that's probably where I'm going to head. Spirit is my main focus, but I'm probably going to end up splashing some Flame in there to try out that Casey Jones. If you guys refer back to, I think it was our 3rd episode, I'm just guessing there, but when we talked about our favorite cards from each set that has released, my favorite card is Ghost Train from Cryptid Nation, and it had to do a lot with the playability as well of the card, which I feel like is slept on a lot, honestly. And Casey Jones just works so well with Ghost Train. It's the whole point, pretty much, where you could bring back the Ghost Train and everything like that. So, I already use Ghost Train in my deck. Two of my Spirit decks I use Ghost Train in. So I really want to see what comes out. The whole set is supposed to be pretty much focused around Spirit and Dark beasties, things that are spooky and creepy, essentially, being that it is Seance, it is, around the time of Halloween, things like that. So I'm assuming that I should be getting, and again, it's just an assumption though, but I am assuming that I should be getting some support that I've been needing in my Spirit decks. So that is literally, so Deadly, you guys, if anybody's been watching our gameplay videos on our YouTube channel, Deadly just played a Spirit deck and I played my Flame deck. And before that happened, during that happening, and after that happening, I've said that I want to build the Spirit deck so bad, but I'm holding out until Seance before I do it, because I know that my deck that I would build now would just be changed anyway once Seance releases. So I'm really looking forward to Seance releasing just specifically for me for that Spirit aura.
Well, let me get a little add on here, because now I feel all singled out. Because you were like dual aura, and then Matt was like dual aura, and I was like, no.
Light.
So yeah. I was unprepared. So no, if I had to answer that question again in a dual aura sense, I really like maybe the Headless Nun, just turning things dark. I kind of want to just do a dual everything, but I'm kind of excited for dual dark, like light dark. You guys said that the Rainbow Wizard, that one's the light dark.
Light dark.
Yeah.
Do we know what he does?
No, but
no, not yet.
But here's my thing with that. What else is in those theme decks? What else in that deck will help that light dark deck? You know what I mean? Those theme decks usually hide some gems. That's where we got Patient Insight and what's the other one? Next Chapter.
Yeah, Next Chapter.
They're not in
right,
UFO.
Yep.
They're not in anything but those decks. So what these decks are dual aura decks. What's going to be in them that helps dual aura? I'm assuming there's going to be something in there that helps dual aura out, or that will help those specific dual auras out or something like that, maybe, but I'm expecting something spicy thrown in there. That's just my guess. It's my hope. I might be a little let down if there's not.
Well, I mean, you got to think. So my guess is there's going to be some utility in some of the smaller beasties in the lower, in the bronze and the silvers. Very similar to like Shock Aura. Shock Aura is a lightning page. It costs 1 to come out.
Such a great page.
And it's an amazing card. I think I said this before. I think it was Moldy Potions. Shout out to you. You turned me on to that like when CN 2 was out. And I was like, wow, this is great. So I feel like there's going to be stuff like that can help you potentially fatigue for an aura of your type, or
for sure.
some kind of weird thing that you have to like do something to get that aura to be that type.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really would be.
They won't leave us in the wind. They won't have us.
Let's hope not.
There will be.
They'll make us wait until war. They'll make us wait until yokai, But yeah, I think that's all the topics we had for today. I'll start with Ian. Is there anything else you want to say in regards to any of the topics that we went over today?
The only thing that I think we forgot to mention for Seance is just remember that these spellbooks contain hollow auras in the aura books this time around, similar to CN2. So don't sleep on spellbooks.
Yeah, do not. So what's cool about that, actually, since you just brought that up, I feel like a lot of people don't open their aura bricks.
I don't.
This is now just a reason to open that. Which I kind of like. If you guys have seen me play, I like the shiny auras. So I'm excited to get a bunch more. But yeah, no, that's definitely something to mention for sure. Don't sleep on those. Make sure, again, print run is limited. So if you want them, get them now. Yep. Deadly, anything else you want to mention about any of the topics today?
Fridays, come play. Oh, the topics today, I was going to say, come play Friday. Topics today, very cool topics. Seance, super excited for Seance. Like we both, all three of us said, we already placed our pre-orders with our chosen partner. And a lot of exciting sets coming out with the promo for the Halloween, all cool stuff. A lot of new cards coming our way, so get to studying them when they come out.
Yeah, it really you need to, honestly. So yeah. Is there anything, Ian, you want to announce before I go into my spiel of announcements here?
Do I have an announcement? Is that something?
I don't know.
Did I have something planned?
Do you
Happy
run
birthday!
a YouTube channel?
Oh wait, no.
do I want to show myself? Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was something bigger I had planned.
Nah.
Yeah. So check out Cryptid Nation News. It's a YouTube channel here on YouTube that goes through weekly news and news updates that are grander if something comes up in between. I can't even say I do Metazoo hours anymore because I haven't done the last one, so that would just be lying.
You'll start to do them in the future.
I'll start to do them. I try to cover the Metazoo hours. This last one just kind of fell at a bad time, and I haven't gotten around to it. But other than that, check out metazooarchives.com. It's a new website that we have started. So it's myself. It is MJ and Deadly doing gameplay. It's John from Immortal Workshop. He's doing market analysis type stuff. We have Turmentic doing lore articles, and we have Harley with EpicTube HD in charge of events. And we kind of cross-pollinate there as well on some of the articles. It's not kind of strictly that, but just trying to get information out to the public more and get our thoughts out, not only in video format but in written text. So check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Deadly, you have anything you want to share before I do my announcements?
Friday, learn to play. It's a good event.
You already said that.
I know, but I didn't. I said it out of order, so I'm trying to be in chronological order here. So learn to play Friday. Good turnout. That's about it. Seance is going to be awesome. A couple weeks away. Boom. I already said that too. So clearly I had nothing else to say.
It's crazy though.
I feel like UFO
Though,
just
like,
came out.
It hit me today that I pre-ordered and it's 2 weeks away.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It really is.
It's like,
No.
whoa.
Yeah. So that is the episode for this week, guys. We appreciate everybody watching. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. My announcements that I want to say before we close out the video are that every Friday, like Deadly mentioned, Caster's Corner Discord does hold a Learn to Play event. That event is on the Play Network. So if you would like to participate and physically play, you could sign up on the Play Network. There will be a link in the description down below. If you want to just join the Discord and hang out and learn to play, stop people who are playing to ask questions and everything like that, just come in on Friday night. It's in the Gameplay 1 channel on the Caster's Corner Discord. No invitation necessary. Just come on in and stop us, ask questions, and learn how to play the game. Now, something to note is that it is with physical cards over webcam. It is not TTS. So if you want to partake, you do kind of need to either use your phone in the Discord or, a computer and a webcam. So it's just something to note with that.
And actually, if you're not set up for that, MJ's working on an article right now that is probably going to be up on Metazoo Archives.
Should be out right now, right?
This goes up. Should be out. Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't just release today, but
Well, I just need to make sure the grammar and everything is correct in it. But
but the article is to tell you what you need to do webcam and how to set it up and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And besides that, guys, we have a Discord, so that link will be down in the description below. We have a section in our Discord where you can leave us comments or suggestions or ask us questions for this podcast. So we encourage anybody who's watching, to chime in there. We've already gotten a few suggestions that I personally have been slacking on to get. So I'm sorry for those guys who have been asking for us to get this podcast out on like Spotify or something like that.
Yeah, they're mad at you. They don't watch anymore.
Yeah, probably. But I am going to work on that. I promise. So here's me saying that, on camera in front of you guys. That
this is recorded.
I'm promising to y'all.
Courtroom.
Yep, I'm promising to y'all that I'm going to figure that out in the near future. And the last thing is also I just wanted to again reiterate, check out the Metazoo Archives. It's honestly an awesome website. It's something that if you're learning the game, it's good for you to hop in there. If you're wanting to know what to collect, it's good for you to get in there. If you want to learn the news, that's what Ian does. So there's a lot of that up there.
There's a lot of hyperlinks that take you to exactly where you want to go, where the topic is that you're reading about. So
there's pretty much anything for anybody. Yeah, there's anything for anybody, and that link will also be down in the description below. So please go check that out, and share your thoughts down in the description, down in the comments below with, what you think of the website and anything else down there below. The other thing I just want to plug real quick is that we are now doing gameplay videos on our YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll also be able to get notifications for gameplay videos. We're going to try to be bringing on teammates from Caster's Corner to do those gameplay videos. So just be on the lookout for those. But yeah, I think that's it for this week. I'm just going to ask one last time. Deadly, anything else you want to say before we close out?
Nope. See y'all on Friday, and maybe you'll see me again.
And yep, and the one-eyed crow. Any last words from you?
See you Friday.
All right, guys. So yeah, we hope to see you Friday at the Learn to Play event. But besides that, guys, we appreciate everybody watching, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good one.
See you guys.
See you later.